All right, guys, this is Entrepreneurship 1, and we're on objectives 2.03 and 2.04. So let's go ahead and get right into the PowerPoint lesson for today, the lecture notes. So standard 2.03, or your objective for 2.03, is to employ entrepreneur discovery strategies to generate feasible ideas for business ventures and products. Sources of information that you can use about global trends include newspapers, trade publications such as the Nursing Times, Cosmetics International, research institutes such as the Office of Scientific and Technical Information, National Institute of Child Health and Human Development, travel, trade shows. Their companies display and demonstrate their latest products or services. It can be public or private. Only company representatives can attend. Global trends and opportunities when you're looking at the economic environment. The following factors determine a nation's potential as a host for international business expansion. So nation size, the number of people or the population, per capita income, the state of economic development, infrastructure, transportation, communications, banking, utilities, public services, the exchange rate. And also I talked about this before, but lower tariffs might encourage an entrepreneur to consider international business opportunities. So that's one of on the entrepreneur discovery, that's one of the regulations that entrepreneurs or businesses will have to overcome. Under social cultural environment, you have all aspects of the nature's culture, including the language, education, religious attitudes, social values. Under the technological environment, notice what we're going over, same as the entrepreneur discovery, the changes that take place. Internet surpasses political, economic, and cultural barriers, reaches every corner of the globe. However, many countries do not use the internet extensively as we do in North America. And under the political or the legal environment, again, you have the laws and trade regulations that vary from country to country. Political conditions can influence international marketing. And you also have the labor conditions, which when some of you did some of the assignments, we saw that like Nike, the labor conditions for them wasn't too good. Potential of global trends and opportunities. Entrepreneurs are always looking for opportunities. When determining whether or not to enter a global market, local industries, economic conditions, geographic characteristics, and legal restrictions must be considered. Reasons to expand in the global market include expanding markets. 95% of the world's population lives outside the United States. Cutting costs. Reduce labor and transportation costs. Gain access to resources, that's raw and human resources that are available within that country. Capitalize on special features of a location, such as the socio-cultural and political or legal reasons may make doing business elsewhere appealing. And the inside-out analysis, considering what the entrepreneur and startup are able to do. You look at the resources, their capabilities, and the competitive advantage of the new business venture. The outside-in analysis says consider the general environment and the industry environment in which the venture might do business. The general environment would include broad factors like political and legal, social, cultural, macroeconomic, global, and technological factors. The industry environment would include specific factors like ease of entry for new competitors, availability of substitute products or services, existing rivalry among competitors, supplier power, and buyer power. Work experience can help identify opportunities for venture or product creation. The more work experience you have, the more likely you are to see an opportunity in different situations. You have been behind the scenes and have a more intricate look into how things work. Work experience can often lead to good business ideas through listening to customer complaints. The impact of educational background on determination of opportunities for venture product creation. Many entrepreneurs are able to sell their own skills and knowledge in a particular area by opening a consulting firm. I know many teachers who do that. They might retire and open a consulting firm, or become coaches of some sort or something like that, coach in a particular area of education. So those their educational background, and then it's their work experience as well. The importance of considering personal interests when determining opportunities for venture product creation. If you open a business involving things that interest you or a hobby you have, you are more than likely already very knowledgeable about it. This is an example of identifying a product opportunity by considering personal experiences. Many entrepreneurs are able to turn a hobby or personal interest into a successful business. That is how a lot of bakeries get started. That is how a lot of people that make crafts, that's how they get started. It's a hobby at first, and then they start selling to friends and families, and then word of mouth, they end up creating their own business. So that is what that particular slide is talking about. Experience as a consumer or a retail industrial customer. Good business ideas can come from the frustration of not being able to find the right product or service to meet your needs. So there's something that you want and you're looking for, you might end up inventing it or creating that product on your own because you can't find it anywhere else. Determining if opportunities address specific unmet needs or problems. Determine if your product is something that consumers want or need. So this is something I need for you guys to be thinking about as we hopefully begin to start working on this business plan. What need does it satisfy? How will they use it? Would they be willing to buy it? These are all questions that they ask in the Shark Tank. Okay, so it's important. This is often determined through market research. When determining venture creation opportunities, entrepreneurs must first conduct their research. Reasons to analyze the entrepreneur and his or her team when accessing opportunities. One factor that an entrepreneur should consider while assessing a venture opportunity is whether it will encounter a lead to more opportunities. The new product should be appropriate for the business's image, goals, strengths, and resources. It should provide the company with a competitive advantage. Has a feature that is more satisfying than competitors' products. So you guys need to think about that as well. Reasons to consider needed resources when accessing opportunities. The company needs to be able to afford to produce and market the product. You have to pay for your employees, which are the people, expertise, those managers and higher upper positions, the equipment that you're going to use, and the money. The money used to market the actual product. The importance of evaluating market timing when accessing opportunities. If an economy is in recession or depression, coming out with a new product that satisfies only wants instead of needs might not have a large amount of sales. Makes sense. Processes used to access opportunities. We've already said this before, but you got to do your market research. And we talked about the use of prototypes. They are often used to evaluate customer responses to the product idea. Product may also be test marketed to identify the potential success of it. And going into 2.04, which focuses on identifying methods, techniques to generate a venture or product idea. Oh, that's a cute picture. Key terms. Attribute listing focuses on an attribute or an object in order to determine how the attribute can be improved. For example, a cell phone features. We know how much they change. Lateral thinking, solving problems through an indirect or creative approach. For example, thinking outside of the box. Analogies we've talked about before, similarity of like feature of two things. For example, comparing two products. Associations, that's a mental connection or relation between thoughts, feelings, ideas, or sensations. Brainstorming, that is a creative thinking technique that involving the identification of as many different ideas as possible during a certain time frame. Synetics, bringing different things together to create a unified connection. Sketching and doodling, letting your subconscious do the drawing. Forced questioning, force people to choose between two choices when neither of the choices could be the answer or needs further explanation. Morphological analysis, systematically structuring and investigating many possible relationships of complex problems. For example, used to create a new product. Mind mapping, a graphical way to represent ideas and concepts. It is a visual thinking tool that helps structuring information, helping you to better analyze, comprehend, synthesize, recall, and generate new ideas for marketing opportunities. Criticism, the role of criticism in idea creation. Criticism can be difficult to hear, but you cannot take it personal. Some of your most important lessons can come from complaints and criticisms. So I asked you to talk about what would you do if a customer complained about your product or service. And it's important for you not to feel attacked if someone does criticize something. You just have to know how to deal with it. Discussion points. As a business owner, how would you address these criticisms? The package is too hard to open. What would you do? The cake doesn't taste fresh. Your services are too expensive. His store is very difficult to find. These are all things that, if we were face to face, we would discuss these points. Types of brainstorming techniques. Group creative thinking. It is used to come up with as many ideas as possible in a short period of time. First thing you will have to do is define the problem. Share ideas without criticism within that group. The use of group creative thinking techniques helps to facilitate the idea generation process because group members most often generate new ideas by altering or building upon another idea. When you build upon another's ideas, you pose an initial question, you use word association, and you identify a challenge to help you move forward on generating those ideas. And that is it for 203 and 204. So that was a quick lesson. Thank you.